Hello there, Viper. Welcome to another stream of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So it's Tuesday for me, so these streams are going to be short. In this first stream, just going to focus on the Cairn Stones and going to get all the dialogue, like the flashback audio. The last story arc we did was as male Eivor. In my next stream, we're going to do another story arc, and I'm going to be doing that as female Eivor, so I may as well change to female Eivor now, and then after this stream's finished, just keep it for the next stream. Alright, so I don't think there's any particular order to them, but I think I'm going to go to the one in Norway first. Is it, Viper? So it's morning time. Yeah, it's almost 5 PM here for me. Oh, you did? You beat your personal record on Warzone. That's cool. It's always a good feeling when you can do that. So I won't actually be doing the stones, as in completing it. I just basically want to get the flashback audio from it. So I'll just spool up a video and have a look. Alright, so the first one they've got here in Hordafelke. So that's that one there. So there's 13 of these in total. And the reason I chose to do them as part of the playthrough at all is because there's some story stuff that gets mentioned in these flashback audios, and the timing for why I've chosen to do them now in the playthrough is simply because I personally feel that since Sigurd is still captured, that Eivor would be reminiscing and remembering things from their childhoods as well. So that's why I'm doing these Cairn Stones now, but doing them only in the sense of interacting with them, hearing the dialogue, and then once that's done, move on to the next one. So it was 14 kills, was it? Nice. So this stream is probably going to be really short, like, it's probably only going to be like an hour and 15 minutes or something. But hey, it's still worth doing because this aspect is something that not all players would be interested in, or viewers. So if I do this in this stream, then that means that only the people who are interested, and also in the VODs and on YouTube and stuff, because when I export this particular stream to my YouTube channel, I'll just add a description mentioning that it's just the Cairn Stones. So there's no actual like main story stuff that's being missed out on by me doing this, but it is relevant to the character of Eivor and Sigurd. You're playing Syndicate now, Viper? Oh, that's good. So what do you think of it so far? Harbinger, I thought you were late because you wanted to do the Cairn stuff off stream. No, I wanted to do the Cairn on stream. I felt there's no real point in just going around the map and clearing them off stream when I could just look up a YouTube guide and go directly to each one.
So, go on. Try it yourself. Eivor. Come. Stand here and look out over the fjords. Hold my hand. There you go.
I've never been so high.
Your father brought me here long ago, when we were just 19 winters. Together we stacked stones into cairns.
These?
Yes. Think of this as a test of mind and wit. Stack the Cairn Stones high and wide into any shape you like.
How do I win?
You win by playing, and a quiet mind is your reward. Let the air and nature's beauty soothe you.
Alright, we've got that flashback audio. Now to move on to the next one. Hey Coast of Passion, I'm going good. How are you? Viper, you enjoy the feel of the game and the storyline. Oh, good. That's cool. Yeah, that's a fun game, that one. Coast of Passion, you began a new game. Oh, cool. So what game? Alright, so the next one I want to hit is over this way in East Anglia. Alright, so this is one I've already come across when leveling up off stream in the past. Coast Passion, it's Genshin Impact. You're in love with this game because you love anime. Well, that'd be a good fit then, as well. Because it's one of those things where I haven't played it myself, but I've definitely heard of it, and I've seen some bits of it. So I've got an update with the Red Dead 2 situation. Red Dead Redemption 2 on PlayStation was actually on sale, but for some reason I thought that the end date was the end of this month. But I went today to have a look and it's like, oh, it's back to $89. It's like, oh, great. So depending on the timing, because I doubt there's going to be another sale, I'm just going to have to... after I finish Valhalla, I'm just going to have to finish off Red Dead Redemption 2 without a microphone, just to get the playthrough done. There's no point in waiting for the game to come on sale on PlayStation. I may as well just play the version I have, but not have the microphone, because I'll need to plug my headset into something else that's not the controller so I can hear what's going on in the game. Because for me it'd be awkward to play the game without the audio. Oh, that's good, Athid.
Come, Father, this way.
I am here. I am here.
Look, I've made this myself. My hardest can yet.
Oh, yes. Your mother said you had taken swiftly to the stack of stones. This is impressive.
And it can stand hard against the winds as well. Watch.
A burst of blue air that blows to rival Njord's noisy belches. Well made, Eivor. But know this. Height is not the only trait of a Cairn's beauty. Shape, balance, and expression are key. Seek a variety of these. Let your only goal in this task be to surpass your own best creation.
Alright, we've got the flashback audio for that one. Next one. Leicester Shire. And this one is up a bit further. Oh yeah, there we go. It's this one here.
Overmoed med läraren den näfri.
Not doing an active quest, so challenge rules don't apply. If it only takes me half an hour to actually get this done, because after this one there's 10 left, I'll just end the stream after that. I purposely started the stream late so that this would be a short stream because I'm just covering the Cairn Stones in it. Just wanted to give myself a bit of leeway just in case. I didn't want to leave it too late. But I've had a very busy day today, so I still have stuff I need to get done. So far, the Cairn Stone flashback audios have been about Eivor's parents, but soon we're going to have some where it's actually Eivor and Sigurd after Eivor's parents were killed. And there's a few key things that these flashback audios have which relate to the memories that Eivor has of Odin and the visions that Eivor sees of their former self. Because Eivor is talking to Sigurd when stacking a Cairn Stone and says to Sigurd, "What did you say?" And then Sigurd's like, "I didn't say anything." It's like, "Yes, you did. Just now, I heard you." Something along those lines. But it's actually Odin's voice speaking to Eivor for the first time.
Sigurd, can I have that stone?
No, I need it for my tower.
Sigurd, your father tells me you have a love pledge with Sefa.
No, not anymore. She called me a whale face and I spit on her foot. Those are not words a lover should use.
Does Sefa know you have severed your bond with her?
She does. I told her to find another Drengar, and she cried. I do not know why. Sadness can be so silly.
Your meanness will haunt you one day, Sigurd. I would never betray you.
Because we are friends. In love, hurt is different from that of friendship. Lovers must betray one another as the sun rises and sets.
Alright, that's that one. Now, I know some people might be going, why aren't you actually stacking the Cairn Stones? Because the only half of that which I care about is actually the dialogue. I give no shits about the actual Cairn stacking because I absolutely hate it. And all it would do is add extra time on top of an already long playthrough. It's interesting what Sigurd says there. She called me whale face, so I spat on her foot. And then, like, broke up with her and she cried about it. It's like, oh well, move on. It's an old expression, but it still checks out. There's plenty of fish in the sea. And do not confuse the pond you live in for the ocean that's out there as well. Actually, no, that doesn't fit. Essentially what I'm saying is there's a whole ocean out there. Don't restrict yourself to just the pond that you're in. Maybe that doesn't even fit. It's funny, whenever I see this kind of snow in this game, I always think of icing on a cake for some reason.
The sound of stones falling upon stones is nice. They click and clack so well.
I prefer them as skipping stones. The whish and sploosh. Watch.
Sigurd, stop that.
Did you see that? How far it went? A giant's arm I have. The strength of the gods.
That was mine.
You know better than to take what is not yours, Sigurd. Must I tell your father how badly you behaved today?
Say what you like. He would not believe you.
He would. And then he would pitch you into the sea and invite me to drink in his hall. Be warned.
Alright, that's that flashback audio gotten. Afro, the North remembers, we know no king, but the king in the North whose name is Stark. Oh yeah, that's from Throne of Games. How's it going, Afro? Afro, that's what that map reminds you of, is it? I gotcha. So they've got a map that's similar in like the way it's drawn and stuff. Yeah, Throne of Games. I know it's Game of Thrones. It's like take the names of shows but just reverse the title, so or just, make a change like that. Instead of Game of Thrones, Throne of Games. Instead of Wheel of Fortune, Fortune of Wheel. Instead of Family Feud, Feud Family. With some shows it's a bit hard to do that, with like Friends and Seinfeld. Instead of Unsolved Mysteries, Mysteries Unsolved. The Anarchy of Sons. But you're debating if you want to torture yourself or not. What with? Afro drawn and areas in the series is basically based off on the UK. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because, like, the influences of an author and what they like, what they want to model their aspects of and stuff.
Father, why do men yell at one another when they have drunk too much mead?
Mead is a delicious poison that gives men courage and robs them of kindness. But yelling is not always a wrong. Have you never wanted to lose your tongue and scream at someone? Throw hookah fire and word spears at those who anger you?
Maybe.
Why do you ask?
Sigurd told me the story of Loki and his anger at the gods. Why was he angry?
Because he was vain. When the gods heaped pretty praise on the serving men of Agir, Loki could not contain himself. His pride was heavier than his heart. He lived for trickery and glory hounding. He was jealous. Loki would rather make enemies of friends than hear a good word about anyone but himself. Never be as Loki was.
Viper, you don't know if you like scary games or not, but you're going to stream Outlast 2 at some point. If you want to stop in for a hi, not today, but some point. I do, Viper, yeah. I do like horror stuff. I do like horror games. And the Outlast games are good. I played the first and the Whistleblower DLC, as well as Outlast 2. I don't know if Outlast Trials is available yet, but I haven't played that one yet. But that's cool that you'll be streaming Outlast 2 at some point. Definitely really good game. I mean, some fans prefer 1 over 2. I kind of like them both because they're for the ways that they're the same, they're very different as well, and I just really like how different they are. Like Outlast 1 is more of a roller coaster ride through a haunted house kind of situation where there's moments of suspense, but then there's all moments of like, holy shit, you know, gotta run. In Outlast 2, there is that as well, but they also add a whole big layer of psychological horror on top, where it's not just about making the player feel like they're on edge and then making them feel like they have to run around a lot. It's also getting under the skin of the player and doing things that you would see in a more suspense horror game that doesn't really have many intense moments, kind of thing. Oh, did you really, Viper? You played them on Insanity? Damn. Yeah, that reminds me, Outlast 1, I still need to play that on the most difficult setting. That game celebrates its 10th anniversary this year as well. So I'm going to wait until October to do that as part of my horror stuff. Never played it on that difficulty before, same with the sequel. But I'll only be doing the first on that difficulty when I do it next. I'm going well, Gamer Loop. Things are going good. How about yourself?
Eivor, did you hear? The king will visit tomorrow. Sigurd will be with him.
Father told me, but I cannot play too often with Sigurd. He always steals my stones and calls me Trolltooth.
I can think of one way to fluster him. Use all of these stones for your next cairn. He'll have none for himself.
I could build the largest cairn he has ever seen. He would be so jealous.
Take these. Make him smile.
Yes.
And did your father mention Gunnar's arm ring?
No. Not that I remember.
Speak with your father tonight. He has a special task for you.
Alright, so that flashback audio takes place the same night that Abel's parents get killed. Here's a tip too for people who are, I don't know, developing a game and they want to make sure that people who need subtitles can actually see what's being said through the subtitles. How about when someone's interacting with something specific like this Cairn Stone, how about you actually make the dialogue of the world event character nearby just, completely shut up? Instead of having the text of what they're saying replace the text of what the person's currently focusing on, which in this case would be the Cairn Stone. It's like, come on. It'd be like, imagine if someone forced your eyes to close every so often when you're trying to focus on something.
I give up. It's just too far.
Viper, it's definitely hard if you don't remember the pathing. Yeah, that's going to be the thing. Like, I can knock over the game pretty quickly. Like, I'm not speedrunning it or anything, but I can get through it pretty quickly, usually. But there are some parts here and there that I sort of, like, get stuck up on, and causes me to be like, oh shit, now I need to remember exactly where to go. For a streaming related question, how much delay do you get between the actual game you're playing and then what you see on the stream preview? It varies. Sometimes, come on game, the water's right there. Like, the water's right there and it's a fucking viewpoint and you've got me facing in the direction of the water. Who programs this shit? Like, seriously. If you're gonna have the character face a certain direction straight away on a viewpoint upon fast traveling to it, maybe make it the direction that's actually pointing towards the water. And now it changed it. But yeah, sometimes it varies. It can be instant, but other times it can take a little bit. Like, there's probably half a second or a second delay sometimes. But in terms of like options for stuff, I also have it set to where is it? Low latency mode as well. You're doing really good as always, Gamer Loop. That's excellent to hear. That's good. For this stream, I'm just working on the Cairn Stones, getting the flashback audio. I don't actually like doing the stacking part though. But the good thing is you don't need to do the stacking part to get the audio. The audio plays automatically once you interact with it. But I wanted to leave it till this point in the story because of what's going on. I felt that it's a time that Eivor would potentially... There's no official thing saying this is the case, but I just like to think that when Sigurd is captured, Eivor is reminiscing about things from the past and the people that he's lost, like his parents, and you know how that would all play into his fears about losing Sigurd and all that. So that's why I'm doing this now in the playthrough. And the flashback audio is the only thing that I like about the Cairn Stones because it gives you a bit more insight into certain stuff. So it's more just for, like, you know, character reasons. Sometimes I like to choose what content I do and when I do it based on, you know, potential character or story relevance. You finished sequence 7 of AC2. Amazing. Excellent. That's great progress with that amazing game.
Eivor, I hoped I would find you here. You seem well. Your wounds have healed quickly. I heard my father talking to the others. He said you were his child now, so that makes me your brother. You are welcome to this family. Now we will grow together and feast together and scamper over the snows together. I hope that pleases you. It pleases me. What is it you are building now? 2 homes or a hill in the mountain?
This is my father, Varian. And this is Hrothgar the Cruel.
Ah. Lean on me. I will lead you home.
So obviously that's not long after Eivor watched his parents get killed. Or her parents, I should say. this female Eivor canon, when her parents were killed. And so that's a memory of Sigurd trying to comfort and console Eivor, and also basically say, you know, my father is taking you on as, you know, part of the family, so I view you as part of the family as well. Which is great, you know, because it shows that Sigurd is actually someone who cares about Eivor. And doesn't have that whole thing of, you know, oh, you're not, you know, you're not my, you know, just because my father, you know, or whatever the case, you know, has you, doesn't make you my actual brother or whatnot, you know. So I think it's a cool thing that Sigurd does there. Oh yeah, so the next one's this one. Viper will unite to score great. Oh, did it? Great as in positive great, or great as in sarcastic great? Positive great. Oh, that's good. But your friend's game share is finally letting you download it again without having to repurchase it first. Oh, that's good. That's good that you don't have to repurchase it.
Are you referring to my father?
Am I what?
What you just said. Was it about my father?
I said nothing. We have been silent since we came here.
Liar! You did just now. As plain as you're talking now.
You are mad. What did I say?
A coward believes he will live unto old age if he stays clear of strife. But old age will wither him fast, though he be untouched by spears.
I said nothing of the sort, Trolltooth. That is the Allfather whispering into your big head.
Okay, so I was talking before about this particular audio flashback, and this is after Eivor's parents are dead, and this is after Eivor has suffered the traumatic extra event of being bitten around the neck by the wolf. This is the point where Eivor starts to have visions of Odin, except they start off as just Eivor hearing the voice of Odin speaking. It hasn't got to the point yet where we see in the game where Odin visually comes to Eivor in a vision. And the whole thing is Eivor is actually a reincarnation of Odin. So these are just memories of Odin that have resurfaced. And so the knowledge that Odin would have had and the way that he viewed things is being represented first by his voice in Eivor's mind, but then visually as well. And so what Eivor heard being said was literally the memories, spirit, whatever you want to call it, of Odin that resides within Eivor being reincarnated and coming to fruition and being activated, basically. And there's this one. This actually works out well. There's some Cairn Stones that when I was grinding off stream in the past week or so probably came across. Viper, you can't wait to get back to Hogwarts Legacy. It's always good to get back to a game that you're really invested in, especially if you've had to not be able to, not play it for a little bit. Australia, Viper.
No, use that stone, Eivor. Use the large one, there.
Do you like the snow, Sigurd?
I suppose. I accept it.
I love it. I wish it could gather under my skin, surround my bones, and cloak me in silence. Just the way it quiets the land.
Snow like arrows? The Skald in you speaks. I admit it does calm me down some.
If everyone sat and watched the soft, chunky snowfall and said nothing at all, we would all be happier.
Snow makes for a poor plowing bed. That's what I know.
Viper, wasn't sure because UK and Australian accents sometimes sound the same, but Chevy, mate. Yeah, that's true. And I guess too, there's some words that we say in a similar way, even though it's not changing our accent when we say it. You know what I mean? But there's so many different kinds of Australian accents as well. I mean, mine is I'd probably say mine's a more deliberate kind of version where, like, my 100% natural Australian accent probably doesn't come out unless you hear me swearing. That's when it usually comes out as well. But you're right. There's definitely a similarity. There's also a similarity between Australian and New Zealand. Like, there are differences that, if you know the differences, you'll be able to tell between the two. But there's definitely similarities. Plus a lot of the word usage as well. I mean, here in Australia, the word mate still gets used quite a lot, but obviously there's also words that, like bro and stuff like that. Even strangers saying that, which I find kind of funny because, to me, I would only use the word bro if I'm talking to someone that I know really well. Anakin, brah. Yeah. How's it going, Anakin? Really? Ah, damn, that sucks. Yeah, I hate getting the sneezes. I hate allergies. It's especially watery eyes as well. It always sucks. Throat and nose are completely fucked. Yeah, it's not good getting that combo of both of them. I mean, one or the other is bad enough, but not both at the same time. Viper, you're supposed to help destroy the Empire, not join them. It's like, well, the dark side told me that where I was going there'd be no sand I had to deal with.
Describe it for me, Sigurd. Valhalla.
My father says the walls will drip mead, your fingers will sing, and your feet will grow wings. Jewels will fall from the mouths of wolves, butter jumps from barrel to bread.
And the mud smells of lavender. I heard that once.
Yes, and when your eyes command rain, it pours hot drops. Your smile craves sun, the clouds part like curtains. Bloody, shiny, unbreakable. Valhalla. One day our slaughter reeds will guide us there, my Eivor.
And my father will not be with us. That much I know for truth.
And again, you know, the dark side has some compelling arguments. That's true. But the people hit you with, Luke, I'm your father, when they find out that's your name. Oh, do they really? Yeah, it's interesting the associations that get made that can be hard to shake. So the video guide that I'm looking at goes to Vinland for flashback audio, but I don't know if there's any more. But I just want to double check anyway. So we'll check out the ones in Vinland. Alright, so there's that one that's in the middle, over this way. Yeah, online server error. Big whoop, no fucking surprise, it's Ubisoft. What does anyone expect? The Ubisoft server is now offline. When isn't it offline? Tell me when it is. Give me a message when it says, hey, it's online now.
Execute Order 66.
Thanks for redeeming that, Harbinger. Yes, Bane. Execute Order 66 indeed. Viper, that or Luke Duke. Really? Luke Duke? Unless that's referring to someone or something I'm not aware of, though. Anakin, what are we doing now? So in this stream, just going around to the Cairn Stones to get the dialogue, the flashback audio. And not doing the actual stacking, though, because I hate doing the stacking. Just doing this for the dialogue. Because of its character relevance. And also, I felt that what's going on in the main story, it would make sense to have Eivor go and do these. Or at least, you know, have him go and do these and reminisce about the past. Because at the moment we're at the part in the story where Sigurd is not available. So I thought I'd do this content at this point in the playthrough. Thanks for redeeming the random Assassin's Creed character quote, Sushu, and thank you for redeeming that, Viper, the random horror movie quote. Anakin, you've seen Cairns breaking some of the smartest people you know. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, my issue with it is that, like, fair enough, not every single rock should be able to be locked in. but at least the first rock is locked in for you, so no matter what happens, the first rock will not, fall. And if it is going to fall, it's only because you've put it a certain way. But I feel like if you only have one rock left, I think the game should let you actually lock in the other rocks. Like, not make it so easy that you just simply lock in the other rocks, but what I mean is, when you're obviously going to be able to keep it there, lock it in. You know what I mean? Have the game recognize that you've placed the first two stones in such a way that it's not going to fall, and make sure that the only stones that will fall will be any other ones you put on top in a way that would mean it's going to fall. Hey, you can't swim, can you, bear? I mean, bears probably can swim in real life, but not that bear in this game. Maybe, I don't know. Alright, so I'll just get up to this viewpoint, and then I'll grab those quotes. Anakin, the way they advertised Cairns was like, you'll have a calming experience. It became a rage-inducing mechanic if you look at it overall. This is true. I would definitely agree with that. There's definitely moments where you're just like, for fuck's sake, why couldn't it have just stayed on there, Yeah, Viper, that one's from Friday the 13th, part 3, part 3D. Fun fact, the actor who played Shelley actually became an entertainment lawyer. Okay, so I'm just getting the random Assassin's Creed character quote. Alright, so I've got one. You took these people against their will. Yes, what little will there was for them to have. Are you really so naive? Do you appease a crying child simply because he wails? But I want to play with fire, father. What would you say? As you wish. Ah, but then you'd answer for his burns. So that's from Assassin's Creed 1. That's part of a whole big conversation between Altair and Garnia de la Plus. Ah, nice. The Black Flag music's gonna play. I know it's not. Oh, now it is. Okay, so I've got a random horror movie quote. A reality is just what we tell each other it is. Sane and insane could easily switch places if the insane were to become the majority. You would find yourself locked in a padded cell, wondering what happened to the world. Yeah, Viper, absolutely. Yeah, I haven't seen the Friday the 13th movies for a very long time, actually. Anakin, same as fishing, they said, and when you are overwhelmed, you can just fish at your settlement. And everyone on subreddit was like, where the fuck is this type of fish? Exactly, Anakin, you know, and that's the thing, right? Like, Red Dead Redemption 2 has a overall better fishing aspect to it, you know what I mean? Because in that sort of situation, you can kind of easily find out where things are, and you got different lure types and all that kind of thing, which really help. And the game's a bit more like guiding with it. Whereas in this game, it's just like, oh yeah, this is how you do it. Go off. And you're like, thanks. Viper sounds like an Odyssey quote. No, it wasn't Odyssey. Sue, nice quote, and from AC12, a real blast from the past. It really is, Sue. Yeah, there's a lot of great dialogue in that first game. So many really cool interactions. But yeah, that's one of the that's always been one of the ones that stood out to me, because Garnier does have a good point there, you know, and it sort of speaks to the idea of the assassins having, you know, or wanting people to be free. And then the Templars like, you know, well, do you want them to be so free that they're going to injure themselves? It's just like, yeah, just go on and do it. It won't matter, you know, that kind of thing. So that one, Viper, was from John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness. I can't remember if this Cairn Stone has any dialogue for it, but we're about to find out.
You are quite good at these Cairns. Better than me, that I admit.
Yes.
This one is your masterpiece. A monument to the gods. Now bask in their glory and receive their honor.
The gods rarely have honor.
Well...
They never live in peace. They hardly bat an eye at jealousy, rage, and madness.
Yes. They are perfect.
Alrighty then, so the video guide I was using for these Cairn Stone locations has now reached Asgard and Jotunheim. And the dialogue in that is relevant to those areas. So that concludes doing the Cairn Stones for this playthrough. Just wanted to get the dialogue for doing that. But while I'm here, I may as well at least do one of the Cairn Stone activities. Yeah, Viper. Yeah, he really is. He's one of my favorite horror directors as well. And I just like the idea of someone who, you know, also does, like, he doesn't always do the music on his own, but there's been a lot of music that he's done for his movies where it was him solely doing the music and that. And I like it how he's a director that does that as well. So you really hated the Cairns even more than chasing those stupid shanties in Black Flag. Yeah, the chasing of shanties, the only reason I don't mind them is just the actual getting of the sea shanty and having it is more satisfying to me than the tattoo designs in this and the almanac pages and all that kind of stuff. See? This is what I mean. What they should have done is, right, okay, so let's just reset it all. Alright. So what they should have done when they were doing this is like, right, once the player has the first rock in, have the game detect, okay, so has the player put this first rock in a solid position? If so, lock it in. And then, once you have that locked in, it would be good if then when you put your other block, the game would go, okay, at the moment, that's fine. You know, but then when you have this one, not that one, sorry, when you have another one topped on like that, the game should be judging and going, right, okay, is that a solid one? Alright, cool. And then, when it comes to that one, now see how I've only got one rock left? The game should recognize that these are in place and balanced. So what they should do is lock them in for you. And then that way you can just put the final one on. There we go. Just to show people who are curious about the actual cairn stacking part. Because not everyone who's watching this may have actually played it. Both while it's live and the VOD on Twitch and then also on YouTube. For, you know, for however long. Someone right now might be watching this on YouTube in the year 2033. 10 years from now. So, hello to you who's watching this in 2030, if the world survives that long, that is, and you're able to actually still watch anything. Hello to you, speaking right now. If anyone is watching years from now this VOD and you've forgotten to hang out your washing or whatever, make sure you do now. Any bills you had to pay tomorrow, make sure you get them paid. But yeah, that's an example of doing the stone cairn stacking thing, what it's like to do it. Viper, you also like the cheesy classics like Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, the only movie of theirs that they did that I saw was the Demon Knight one, with Billy Zane in it, and William Sadler. I like that one. I haven't seen Bordello of Blood though. Sushu, anything where you have to chase something can be incredibly frustrating and rage-inducing. You agree about the shanties. The reward was generally worth it. As for those almanac pages and tattoos, yeah, plus those almanac pages, like the reading of them is torture. Like just trying to read through them. Because there was a playthrough I did on stream where I collected the pages, but also read what was on them. And after the second one, I was just sick of reading them. But I kept on going to get it done, but after that I vowed never again. I'm never reading the almanac pages. Yeah, it would be, Sue, you know, locking the stones in would be good, like, not to the point where it makes it, you know, too easy, but have some combinations of rocks based on how balanced they already are, determine whether or not the game just locks it in. Yay, 1 skill point for that. But I guess 1 is better than none. Viper, so you might stay up and play Hogwarts all morning. That's your morning set out and set up. Anakin reading. Well, at least for tattoos you have that ability thing to catch easily. Some of those shanties and almanacs are just flair. Hey, what I also like is the fact that you can approach them from multiple sides too. You don't have to just approach it from the one side.
Overrun with bear. A camp. Overrun with bears.
Nice one, Abel. A camp. A camp. A camp overrun with bears. And yeah, for some of them you can just go to destination at least. That really makes a big difference. Alright, so the other two Cairn Stones are in Asgard and Jotunheim, but I don't think I'll worry about them. Anakin, the one in Cape Bonavista was a real pain in the ass to chase. Yeah, you definitely get those ones that are very memorable, that when you play the game again and you want to get those unlocked, it doesn't take long to remember, oh, that's right. Let's actually see what Reda has to say.
Hello there. Men like Doug litter every clan, city, and century. The prideful ones. Men who never know when just enough is still too much.
There we go. So people do mention what happened with Dag. Although we spoke to Gunnar after that happened and he didn't say anything. But Reda said something, so that's cool.
What do you have today?
So what's this? Oh yeah, that's still available. I don't have enough for it, but I'm just having a look. Curious. The Dragon Knight Armor. Charlemagne's Hood.
Have a good day.
I must be on my way now.
See you later.
But apparently the next Assassin's Creed game is going to be the darkest one, is it? It'd be good to see some gameplay footage of it.
Hey, Eivor.
No.
Hey, Eivor.
That's right, I haven't activated that. Eivor tired after all that travelling around.
Ah, a new letter.
Harbinger, you can camp shanties and almanacs and catch them as they spawn on you. Tattoo designs won't spawn if you're close. Oh, won't they, Harbinger? Well, that's a good thing to remember. But yeah, I thought that in Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag that if it gets away from you, you have to go away from the area for it to respawn.
Who do you work for? Who's your lord?
He works for number 2. So who does number 2 work for? But if you don't know what you want to watch on Prime, that can be annoying too. Trying to figure out what you like to watch.
May I see your stores?
Yes, I can resell these. Use it wisely. You should buy that. Nothing else?
I'll see you later, friend.
Don't be a stranger.
feeling a little troubled. But even when Dag was younger, he had a streak in him. Hate to see it go that way. But you did the right thing. Can't imagine what you are feeling. Anyhow, you probably need something, eh?
Alright, so now he says something about what happened to Dag. Okay.
I have to go.
May they sing of your deeds and my craftsmanship.
Eivor!
I'm off. Be well, friend.
Be safe out there.
Got a few new things.
What have you got for me today?
Pommers. So these are the actual names of the horses, are they? So the horses do actually have names. Interesting. Passalande, Parsifal, Gringolet, Abelard, Lebrit, Gluttony, and Lamre. This one is Pommers. That's the name of this horse. Pommers.
All done?
It's so funny asking these types of questions of characters that by this point in the story, because they've been living here for months and months and months, the character should know.
Can you remind me what you do here?
As a stable hand and a gameskeeper, I am happy to help you with any matter concerning your horses or your raven.
What is it you do here again?
As a stable hand and a gameskeeper, I am happy to help you with any matter concerning your horses or your raven.
Tell me about what you do here.
As a stable hand and a gameskeeper, I am happy to help you with any matter concerning your horses or your raven.
How did you come to have such an affinity for horses, Rowan?
They were my best friends growing up. I was a sickly boy with a stammer, and the horses were the only ones who never teased me. Over time, I suppose I came to understand them as well as you may understand people. I listen when they speak, and vice versa.
I must take my leave.
Bye, Eivor.
How about I just take this horse then, huh? What do you think about that, Rowan?
I have to go. See you soon.
A good day.
Eivor walks into a hair and tattoo place and then asks,
What is it you do here again?
If you would ever like to get a new tattoo, you can come to me. Now, I'm open to inspiration as well, so feel free to bring any designs you find.
I must be on my way now.
Goodbye, Eivor.
Alright, doesn't say anything about Dag.
Ah, here is something for you. An odd letter arrived a few days ago, signed by one calling himself...
A poor fellow soldier of Christ.
That's right. Someone you know.
Not by sight, but this soldier has intimate knowledge of the Order. He's the reason I have found them so easily in the cities.
The letter says you must travel to Winchester, visit God's house, and look for a man in white. Then when do you...
Alright, I didn't realize that he'd be activating that, so we reload that save, the auto save, because I'm not ready to do that story arc yet. I don't want that to actually be in the playthrough yet. Anakin goes into a shop. Okay, I have to go. Just leaves. Alright, how about this one? Wanted to see which characters talk about Dag. What game? I loaded an autosave. An autosave from before we actually went anywhere near that. What do I need to do? Reload the autosave when we were in Vinland? There we go, that's better.
Eivor, tack för sidast. Eivor, hey!
I want to see the Alliance map.
Alright, so. Oh my god, game. So seriously, the game, even though I went to see Hytham and then reloaded an autosave to before I went to see Hytham, it still remembers that we spoke to Hytham and got the new region? What the fuck, game? Great.
I should go.
Because last stream there was only 2 story arcs to choose from. I hate when games do that shit. Doesn't make sense either. How can something you did after a certain point still be something that you've done when you've reloaded a save before you did it? Doesn't make sense.
Good morrow, Eivor. Ah, here is something for you. That's not the letters when...
I have to go.
Alright, so... just wanted to double check. Now let's see if it shows 3... it shows 4 options for where to go.
I want to...
Yeah, there we go. So that's alright.
I have changed my...
I've changed my...
I want to see...
Moved that too many times.
I have
okay,
changed
Rod,
my
slow
mind.
down. Wait. Wait. Down. Down. Press button.
I should go.
There we go. Alright. So. Reload autosave. Where we're at Vinland. Then fast travel back to England. And you want to do another playthrough where you don't smoosh with Ranvi. Yeah. Yeah, I sort of leave it out of my playthroughs when I do the annual ones. At first you didn't care, but afterwards you felt a bit dirty, did you? Okay. Yeah, it's one of those things too, where if you refuse her advances when you do that quest, you do get an opportunity later to renege on that if you want to, when Gunnar gets married.
I want to see the Alliance map.
You just can't say no to people. I gotcha. Okay, so we have Lincolnshire, Essex, and Sussex. So, because I just wanted to get the Cairn Stones done in this stream, to get the audio from them, and because I don't want to start a story arc now and then end the stream halfway through the story arc, what I'd rather do is actually end the stream now, take a longer break, and then come back to do the Sussex story arc, because that is the final part of the story where related to Sigurd's capture. So that's what I'll be doing next. So in the next stream, which will be in 2 hours and a half, I'll be doing the Sussex story arc. But yeah, I'd rather do this than end the stream now, do another stream, and potentially only get halfway through, if that, through the story arc, and then end that stream, and then come back after the break, and then continue on. I'd rather do the story arc in one stream from start to finish. But that is what I'll be doing for this stream. Make a save. The last story arc that I did was as male Eivor. So I'm going to stay as female Eivor for that next story arc in the next stream. Make a save. There we go. So I just want to thank everyone so much for watching. For those who won't be able to make it back in 2 hours and 30 minutes, that is completely fine, because it is a long time from now until the next stream. But that's what I'll be doing, taking the break for 2 hours and a half. And then I'll be back with more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. See you next time, Mannequin. Thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for watching the stream. But there was no story stuff that was missed with this stream. So the VOD for this will be very short, and on YouTube it will be very short. But I'll just add a description saying that all I did was the Cairn Stone stuff. But thanks everyone for watching, and I'll be back in 2 hours and 30 minutes with more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Just to give an indication of what time it is for me. So 2 hours and a half from now is when I'll be back again. For those who can make it to the next one, I'll see you then. For those who can't, that's absolutely no trouble. Thank you for being here for this one. Until next time.